metadata. My target audience today is for adults who wish to learn a bit more about metadata. I'll try to explain what it is, the importance of it, and how it can be used within an educational context. So we'll start off by saying, what is metadata? Well, metadata is basically information about information. It can describe virtually anything. It is structured information that can describe the creation, context and content used, whether that's within a website, within a magazine, whatever. It can usually be described as a text, image or voice that is used to describe data that the audience wants to see or experience. Metadata is important as it provides critical information about an item to identify the important features. It can facilitate easy access to things that they want to know about. It can lead to organisation of websites and other documents to prevent an information overload. If used effectively, metadata can be the real making of a website, keeping the viewers interested. So we'll start off by thinking, where does it come from? So it can either come from a digital source, where it'll be extrinsic or explicit, or it could be created with research by humans, where it can be intrinsic or implicit. So that's the two different kinds. So we'll start off by looking at intrinsic or implicit. So most intrinsic data include file formats, bit depth and resolution. File formats usually produce the information within the first section of a digital file. If created by digital camera, it is also likely that the information from the camera about the photo is in the field header, such as the make, model and settings of the camera. Most implicit data is delivered from the file itself and is usually more of use to those putting together the collection rather than those using it. It may be useful when developing a digital collection to extract implicit metadata and place in separate location for ease of quality and control and retrieval. Although most implicit metadata is left untouched compared to intrinsic metadata. So we'll now look at extrinsic or explicit, and this kind of metadata is created by humans and the most expensive and difficult metadata to create. Usually the most important and concerned with the creating and managing of explicit metadata. There's resource limitations will play a part, although some collections have the money to spend ages creating metadata for each resource, whereas most can only spare a little time. Some management systems have the knowledge and are able to extract implicit metadata from a digital file, but some cannot and will rely on other ways of finding out the information. There are a variety of formats and examples that metadata is used for in and out of digital form. For out of digital form, metadata is the information that describes content rather than the physical representation and dimensions. Examples of metadata that describe digital form would be video recordings, images, audio and web pages, all of which are on the next slide. So I was thinking about how metadata could be used within an educational context. So it could be used within the school library to display information about how many exact books there are and where they're situated. When watching TV shows or video recordings in the classroom, it will display information allowing easy access and use for the teacher. It's helpful when looking at web pages as it defines descriptive text, dates and keywords and allows pages to be geotagged, allowing the users to see where the photos were taken. When looking at an image, it shows details of the camera settings and allows tagging of photos with subjects and other descriptive phrases to help find. There's also other formats such as EXIF, which stands for Exchangeable Image File Format, which is being created by Japan Electronics for standard for image file formats. EXIF image format is used widely by digital cameras defining a set of TIFF tags that describe photographic images. EXIF metadata can be found in TIFF, JPG and PSD files. XMP stands for Extensible Metadata Platform. It is a multimedia metadata standard that was introduced by Adobe. XMP is a labeling technology that allows you to embed metadata into the file itself. XMP desktop applications and back-end publishing systems gain a common method for capturing, sharing and leveraging this valuable metadata, opening the door for more efficient job processing, workflow automation, etc. IPTC stands for International Press Telecommunications Council, which is based in London and is the creator and maintainer of metadata standards. IPTC is a consortium of the world's major news agencies and publishers which develops and maintains news exchange and is used for nearly every news organisation in the world. In 1979, the first IPTC standard was text only, and its